going to be a review of the Crud Roadracer MK3 with a comparison to MK2. So the main difference between these two, so the MK3 are designed for disc brake bikes, you have to have a 4mm clearance. The MK2 are designed for any other kind of road bike with a caliper brake fitting. So I want to talk about the pros of both of these first. So the pros of the MK3, they are much sturdier, they are easier to fit, they're the main two things I would say, that they're much sturdier. You can tell they are much thicker plastic, and they are much easier out of the box to fit onto your bike. They take a little bit of time to line up, but once they're on, they are really sturdy. The pros of the MK2, they are very light. They are much lighter than I'm not actually weighed, so they just feel a little bit lighter than the MK3. And I like that you're not actually fixing them to your bike in any other way than an elastic band, so you can actually take them fully off if you want to. You can swap them between bikes. But now let's talk about the cons of both. So the cons of the MK3, I wasn't too happy about having to actually stick glue onto a carbon frame onto my bike. They say that like you can put a hairdryer on there and it just kind of melts the glue off so that you can actually pull it off without any damage to the frame. But it's just that thing when you spend that much on a carbon bike and you're kind of just sticking some glue onto it, you do feel a little bit kind of like, what the hell am I doing? But then I guess the benefit of that is they are sturdier than having them on elastic bands. The cons of the actual MK2, I would say, are, it's hard because that's kind of like the pro of that, is the fact that because you can take them on and off with an elastic band, they tend to move around more and slip and then end up rubbing on your tyres. So kind of the pro is kind of the con, so it just depends really what you want and what kind of bike you want. They are both relatively easy to fit. I think the MK2 are harder to fit in the first place because there are more parts. So straight out of the box, the MK3 win on that because they are just really quick to fit. Out of actual usage, I think they're both pretty similar, I would say. And it's hard because I've got the MK3 on my road bike and the MK2 on my caliper brake bike, and I feel like on the caliper brake bike they do fit. They fit better on that bike, I would say, because I feel like the MK3 you do have to cut around because of the way it fits, because obviously they're not attaching to a bike a brake caliper. They are just kind of fit into the frame in some parts and you're having to just glue them on. So I feel like in that respect you have to do a little bit more adjustment, I would say. Both are really good though. I feel like they do take a lot of the water off. You're not having to clean your bike as much, and they're really light. They don't look kind of obscene. Like I really dislike mudguards that have got those big metal like things attached to your bike. I hate that. I like that these kind of just pop on and pop off. And they're cheap. They're really quite cheap. They're like 20-30 quid. So if I was going to give the winner to one of these, which would I pick? Oh, I just can't pick because there's pros and cons to both, and I guess it depends what bike you've got to fit. I think Crud are a really great brand. They're a really great product, and I'm not being paid to say this, but I genuinely think they are good. They've helped me on so many commutes and so many like wet long rides, and yeah, I would say obviously you've got to go for which bike you have. So I hope that helps. If you've got any questions about either of the products, then drop us a comment below. And if you want to look at my other videos on Crud, I will put a link below, but then you can also watch them here and here. So yeah, have a quick look at those, and I will see you next video.